Mr. Speaker, I speak on behalf of the various segments of the Singaporean workforce, the low income, the PMEs, mature workers, and many others across the labour movement, including public officers. In a budget, workers look forward to two things most: assurance today and confidence for tomorrow, especially in an age shaped by rapid technological shifts, demographic change, and workplace transformation. Their aspiration is simple and shared: stable jobs, sustainable wage growth, and dignified progression over longer working lives. And they want to know that even as industries transform, they will not be left behind. I am heartened by the many honourable members' speeches who shared similar concerns that our workers must be at the heart of this transformation. I thank them for that care. Budget 2026 gives assurance to households while laying long-term foundations for a more resilient workforce and brighter economy. Mr. Speaker, the pressure to keep up and risk of falling behind is real. On the ground, workers, especially PMEs, tell us candidly they want to keep up. Workflows are being digitalized, redesigned, and more AI-enabled. Tasks evolve faster, skills expire sooner. So many workers do the responsible thing: they try to upgrade, learn new tools, adapt to new work. However, challenges remain: fear of failure, insufficient time to upskill, reskill, and not knowing what to upskill or reskill sometimes. And at times, there is no change after all that upskilling and reskilling. Here, I urge the government to encourage companies, small and big, to partner the NTUC and the unions to leverage on the company training committees to prepare for the future of work and to grow both the organization and its workers as part of the transformation journey. The earlier we prepare, the better the chances of workers being upskilled and to be more efficiently deployed. Budget 2026 also takes a decisive structural step. Skills Future Singapore and Workforce Singapore will merge into a single agency jointly overseen by MOM and MOE. This will tighten the link between training and jobs, offering more seamless career guidance, upskilling, job matching, and transitions for workers, and integrated support for employers. This move recognizes the faster cadence of technology and job transitions and the need for a single job skills backbone. The merger builds on a decade of Skills Future. In 2025 alone, 606,000 individuals participated in SSG-supported training, and 123,000 enrolled in courses with direct employability outcomes. This signals a workforce investing in its relevance and wanting to stay relevant for the future. We therefore should make this merger count for outcomes, track and publish conversion metrics such as time to placement, wage growth post-training, and employer adoption, co-design more CTC-like job skills pathways so training is planned with job redesign and hiring from the start. Extend mid-career training support in ways that don't penalize caregivers or SMEs with lean staffing. Mr. Speaker, when disruption happens, the consequences for workers are painful. For some, the fear is not abstract. They have seen colleagues retrenched after restructuring, roles outsourced, functions automated, retrenchment rose to 14,400 in 2025 on the back of a choppy global outlook. We are looking forward for AI transformation. The fear continues to be real. In these moments, unions step in to ensure fair process, negotiate fair benefits, and facilitate placement support through E2I. Early notification to unions is not procedural nicety. It is the difference between proactive help and reactive damage control. Many unionized companies recognize this. They give unions advance notice of upcoming retrenchment exercises, sometimes even months ahead. We should institutionalize advanced retrenchment notifications across all firms, including for PMEs, so that affected workers can be rendered meaningful assistance early and with dignity. Another structural concern is the year-to-year contracts, where there is ongoing work, but a whole lot of ongoing uncertainty and insecurity. The continued prevalence of fixed-term contracts, especially annual renewals, put pressure on workers. While the share declined slightly in 2025, with over 90% of resident employees now in permanent jobs, about 7% remain on fixed-term contracts, and older workers are disproportionately represented among one-year contracts. For them, renewal uncertainty makes long-term planning and upskilling harder, which puts them at risk of falling behind. This issue is felt acutely by mature workers who already face longer job searches. Their reality should push us beyond administratively convenient renewals towards clearer pathways to permanency where work is ongoing. The public service is one of our largest employers. It can lead by example. Public sector data shows nearly 24% of officers are 50 and above. We should be more transparent about contract tenure patterns, renewal outcomes, and pathways to permanency where roles persist so officers can contribute with confidence and plan for retirement with clarity. I urge for regular employer reviews of fixed-term contracting, particularly for workers and for the public service to publish more granular indicators on a contract to permanent pathways where functions continue beyond a cycle. Mr. Speaker, longer working lives need sustainable work intensity, not just more training. PMEs today operate at sustained high intensity, long hours for some, but more often it is the constant connectivity, with limited mental space to recover. Officially, average workly hours for employed residents have moderated to about 41 to 43 hours. And MOM has encouraged flexibility through the tripartite guidelines on flexible work arrangement requests. But the intensity outside formal hours matter too. Surveys show over 90% of employees have worked beyond official hours, with 71% fearing negative repercussions if they don't respond after hours. Rest is not about doing less, it is about sustaining efforts and well-being. Without sustainable norms, even the best upskilling will under-deliver. Burnout erodes adaptability and retention. Here, I would like to encourage employers to set organizational norms around after-hours responsiveness, escalation rules, and protected focus time. I also call on the government to monitor hours and intensity indicators and spotlight firms that redesign work to raise productivity and protect recovery. Budget 2026 strengthens retirement adequacy and security. I thank the government for a one-time CPF top-up of up to $1,500 in December 2026, targeted at seniors with lower retirement savings based on their CPF balances and property annual value. The next step of planned CPF contribution increases for senior workers will proceed from January 2027, with the transition offset to help employers. CPF will also pilot new simplified, low-cost life cycle investment scheme by 2028 to give members more diversified options above the base interest rates. This broadens pathways for workers who can take modest market risk across the long horizon. These measures matter because not all workers reach retirement with the same trajectory. Some face mid-career retrenchment, illnesses, or years on rolling contracts that depress CPF accumulation. We should continue targeted CPF support for workers with disrupted careers, tracking cohorts with extended unemployment or caregiving breaks, and calibrating top-ups to close adequacy gaps over time. Mr. Speaker, mature workers want to contribute. Matching experience with opportunity is important. NTUC's own survey showed strong willingness among older workers to remain economically active beyond the current retirement age and even re-employment ages. They are motivated by purpose, health, and some as much as by income. But access to career guidance, training remains uneven. Many who tap on some of these opportunities find them helpful, yet others have shared that they feel disadvantaged or overlooked in being considered. For them, we must close this access gap. We already see credible models in healthcare, age-inclusive job redesign, and assistive tech to help older staff to keep contributing positively, with unions partnering management and tapping on the CTC support to scale solutions. This is precisely the kind of redesign we need to mainstream. We should embed career guidance as a default in mid-career pathways under the new Job Skills Agency, and to scale union employer pilot projects that pair job redesign with structured upskilling for older teams across sectors. SMEs often tell us their challenge is not only funding, but time and manpower to release staff for training. Where unions are present, we have negotiated for training leaves into collective agreements. This must be spread, by example, into non-union and SME settings with redesigned shifts, modular stackable courses, and just-in-time learning-aligned job redesign. The public service can catalyze norms through transparent dashboards on contract renewal patterns and clearer pathways on fixed-term contracts to permanent posts when work is ongoing. That signal will ripple to the wider labour market. What Budget 2026 means for families today and for our future workforce is that while there were expectations on the ground for more support given the surplus, and there are many uncertainties still looming, families will still feel the budget's tangible support: cash, cost of living special payments, enhanced USAFE rebates and CDC vouchers for all households in January 2027. These measures cushion near-term pressures while structural changes mature, but ultimately, confidence comes when a worker sees three things clearly. If I learn, there is a job at the end. If my role changes, there is a fair process and early help. If I work longer, the work is sustainable and my retirement is secure. Our task is to translate policy into predictable pathways at the firm and at the worker level through initiatives like the CTCs, the New Jobs Skills Agency, and tripartite norms that protect both adaptability and well-being. Mr. Speaker, behind every statistic is a worker who wants to provide for family, stay self-reliant, and contribute with dignity. Workers are not stopgaps. They are partners in transformation and productivity. When we invest in their skills, support them responsibly through change, and give them time and space to adapt, workers repay that trust with commitment, and employers benefit from a qualified workforce that will boost productivity and bring about growth. The budget sets direction, but direction must become delivery, and delivery depends on all of us. So let us, government, employers, unions, and every worker move decisively together, build new jobs and skills backbone so that every Singaporean can see a pathway forward. Let us redesign work so that transformation uplifts and not exhausts. Let us strengthen fairness and security from early retrenchment notifications to clearer contract to permanency pathways. And let us ensure retirement adequacy, especially for those whose careers have been disrupted. Mr. Speaker, the future of work must not be something that workers endure. It must be something that they can look forward to, having that assurance that the future will be better. Notwithstanding my thoughts, with that, I support the Budget 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Hasleen.